Okay guys, today I want to introduce you to my alter ego, Dark Lamont. Dark Lamont, who is Dark Lamont? Dark Lamont is somebody who's not as nice as the person that you are accustomed to seeing and listening to on my channel. Dark Lamont will give his opinion when nobody asks. Dark Lamont will complain about his food at a restaurant just because, trying to get your attention. Dark Lamont kicks puppies when he's walking down the street. Now, that one was a joke. I don't kick puppies. I love animals. But Dark Lamont is rearing his ugly head in today's video. So we're going to visit the former home of actor Joe Besser. He is the worst stooge ever of all time. I'm trying not to make this video like a rant video, but this has been bothering me for so many years now. God rest that man's soul. He was absolutely terrible on the Three Stooges. I don't even know why they signed him. Without further ado, we're gonna get rocking and rolling. We're gonna talk quickly about what the hell happened. Okay, so Joe Besser was born August 12th, 1907 in St. Louis, Missouri. He was the baby of 9 children. That's a lot of kids. And so Joe, when he was a child, he was always fascinated with performance art, in particular magic. And for a time, he was the assistant of a local magician, but he was only there for people to laugh at, not in a mean way. It's because he was a terrible magician's assistant. So there was an episode where there was a magic trick that was supposed to go as follows. A rabbit comes out of a hat, and he basically made the rabbit come out of his pant leg. I don't know, something like that. So he would use him for comedic purposes only. Now, eventually, Joe, he's doing the vaudeville circuit, and eventually he makes his way out to sunny Hollywoodland, California. Okay, so this video is not really an introspective about Joe Besser's life, because I'm more interested with the Three Stooges, right? So Joe Besser was, in his own right, a very successful actor. Back in the olden days, before people had televisions, there was a lot of these things called shorts, which were basically movies that were maybe 20 minutes long. So you would go to the movies and watch, 3 shorts, back to back to back. So when the Three Stooges, who had been around at this time now for many, many years, of course, when Curly died, they quickly brought on Shemp to take the place of Curly. Now, Shemp did a good job because he wasn't trying to be Curly. He was only being himself. He was being Shemp. And since him and Mo were brothers, I mean, technically Shemp was the original guy that was a part of, what was it, Ted Healy's Three Stooges, and then that whole thing fell apart. We're gonna do a video about that in the not too distant future. Now, Joe's career got off to a pretty decent start for the most part, and his first short was 1938's Cuckoo Ranch. So he does that, and then it would take a couple of years, but that role would lead him to having bit parts in other movie shorts. So he finally, in 1944, he stars in his own movie short called Hey Rookie. Now, at this time now, Joe Besser, he has this character, we'll talk about that in a minute, that he's basically playing for all of his movie shorts. So Joe, he was pretty good friends with Lou Costello from Abbott and Costello. And so Lou says, hey, we're going to be, developing a TV show. I'd like to bring you along. And Joe was like, yeah, sure, of course. So the Abbott and Costello show came on TV, and Joe Besser finally became very well known from this TV show. He played a character called Stinky. Now, you know, when I do these videos, I try to watch a video about the subject that I'm speaking about to kind of, you know, pretend anyways that I know what I'm talking about. So let me tell you, I think I've watched enough Joe Besser shorts for one lifetime. You know, so Joe, he had this character. It was always the same character. It was almost, imagine Richard Simmons, but chubby and twice as annoying. So that was this character Stinky that was played by Joe Besser, but Joe Besser played Stinky before there was even a Stinky. Like, this guy was playing that character in every single thing that he did. He just had this really, really annoying way he spoke. I mean, God rest Richard Simmons' soul. I did not think he was annoying at all whatsoever, but you know, he wasn't an actor. So imagine Richard Simmons playing Richard Simmons in all kinds of different movies where he's playing different characters, but he's still Richard Simmons. And this is what this guy is doing. It actually drives me nuts just talking about it. So he plays this character Stinky, and people find it funny. I don't get it. I don't understand Abbott and Costello. I guess, you know, comedy is subjective, of course, and it's also generational. Some of the comics that I find absolutely hilarious, people would probably think that they're stupid and it's vulgar or whatever. I mean, me personally, I think one of the funniest stand-up comedians of all time, and he never gets his props or his due, is Martin Lawrence. That's just me. I mean, Martin Lawrence, I think he's a very underrated comedian. Joe Besser, not so much. But, you know, he made a successful career and he did what he did. So, you know, not trying to hate on the man for what he did. But when he joined the Stooges after Shemp died, oh boy, as a 7-year-old kid, me watching the Stooges, my, you know, steam started coming out of my ears. Ugh. This house right here is where Joe Besser used to live with his wife. And I always wonder, like, when I go to these homes, I wonder if the people that live here now know that Joe Besser, of all people, used to live in this house. It's a pretty nice house. I don't want to get too close to the door because, I mean, if they want to call the cops, you know, they can. But I just wanted to get a nice shot of the door of where Joe Besser would stand. And Joe was a very popular guy in the neighborhood, other than him being famous and him giving out the good candy at Halloween time. But so we gotta talk about the tragedy that was Joe Besser replacing Shemp on the Three Stooges. So on November 22nd, 1955, Shemp tragically dies of a heart attack at his home, where he had a friend or two visiting after watching a boxing match. So when he dies, I mean, at this time now, Shemp had been with the Three Stooges for about 9 years. And immediately, Moe and Larry have to, again, try to find a replacement because Shemp was the one that replaced Curly after him suffering that debilitating stroke. So their first choice was Joe DeRita. Now, at the time, Joe was under contract, so he was unable to fill in for Shemp. So the next 4 shorts, they had this guy. He was an actor stuntman named, I think his name was Joel Palma. He's the one that they call Fake Shemp. He filled in where they would shoot him from the back and he grew his hair and combed it like Shemp. So they didn't show his face, but, you know, certain scenes that they needed to finish because Shemp had died, they had Fake Shemp going in there and filling in for him. So they can't get Joe DeRita. So they hit up Joe Besser. And, you know, you think before, like, they're looking at him and they're like, okay, this guy plays this character of this grown man baby who I find just a very annoying character. I mean, I just, Dark Lamont. So he fills in. So for the next 2 years, 16 shorts, Joe is with the Stooges, and the reviews are in, and let me tell you, everybody hates it. Now, it's not all Joe's fault. Now, there was a stipulation in his contract where, and I don't know why he did this, but I just don't know why he did this. But he had it in his contract that he didn't want to get hit as much as the other two. And his reasoning for it was that he didn't have the experience of being hit the way Mo and Larry and Curly and Shemp had been for many, many, many years. So I don't know what Mo and Larry thought when they seen that. They're like, okay, so you're gonna already mess up the chemistry with that. And so you factored that in with, at the time, now you're in 1956, and a lot of people have television sets. Television sets have been around now for about 10 years. So practically everybody has a TV set. Not maybe everybody, but a lot of people do. So a lot of people are watching TV. People aren't going out to watch shorts the way they used to. And Columbia, they're really tightening the screws on the budget on them filming Three Stooges shorts. As a matter of fact, when Joe Besser was, operating with them, I want to say at least 5 or 6 of the shorts were just rehashed ideas that they had filmed with Curly from like 15 years ago. So you have that, them recycling old bits or what have you, and it just wasn't a good fit. The chemistry was just really strange. It was like, to me, and I'm being a critic, it was like watching Stinky from Abbott and Costello interact with the Three Stooges. You would think it would have worked, but it just didn't work. And Joe Besser, finally, he bowed out playing with the Three Stooges. He claimed that I think his wife had suffered a stroke, so he wanted to be closer to home so he can take care of her. But my personal opinion, I think this guy started feeling the heat. People were talking down about him, saying he was terrible. I think he got tired of it, and I just think he said, maybe this ain't working, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing. Guys, this has nothing to do with the video, but just curious, how much do you think the asking price is for this house? Just guess. I'll put the amount of bedrooms and bathrooms and square footage. I'm gonna guess they're gonna be asking $2.2 million for this home. Let me know in the comments what you think. 4.2 million for that home. But guys, it does have 4,000 square feet. It does have 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a sitting room when you want to escape the pressures of the living room. Okay. So anyways, after Joe left the Three Stooges, he kept pretty busy in Hollywood. He would do appearances here and there on different television shows, including The Lucy Show, Batman. He was the voice of the genie on the animated TV cartoon series Genie. Basically, I Dream a Genie, but a cartoon. And he got a spot on the Joey Bishop show, so he did that for about 4 seasons, and then later on he retired from acting. He had suffered a stroke, so his health began to deteriorate, but he did accept the star for the Three Stooges on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He lost a lot of weight at that time, so he looks completely different from what you would see him on the Three Stooges. And listen, you know, maybe I was a little bit hard on old Joe. You know what I mean? I just, it's very, very difficult to try to replace somebody that is irreplaceable. This is the final resting place of Joe Besser. He's buried alongside with his wife, Ernestine. He died of heart disease on March 1st, 1988. He brought the world love and laughter. And then his wife died the following year. A very, very tough act to follow was Curly and Shemp. And, you know, he did the best he could, and it just didn't really work. Nonetheless, guys, rest in peace to the Bessers, and just, you know, a rant that I waited 37, 38 years to do, but I don't know, 8-year-old Lamont, you know, just couldn't accept the fact that there was another Stooge. I don't know why the studios would not let Moe and Larry just do their own thing, just be a duo. They would not let them do that. Ultimately, my personal opinion, once Shemp was gone, it should have just been Moe and Larry, the end. But I don't know why they wouldn't let them. Nonetheless, rest in peace. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. $4.2 million for that house. Are they kidding me? Do you guys think they're gonna get that 4.2? Somebody out there somewhere in the city will pay 4.2 million. How much is a mortgage on $4.2 million? Does anybody know? $4.2 million. That is absolutely crazy. I'm gonna guess your mortgage would be about $18,000 a month. But you know, if you're making $500,000 between you and your wife or your husband or whatever, I'm sure you could afford that mortgage. I don't know why you would want to do that. For $4.2 million, you could buy, hell, you can buy a town in some places. Crazy. Okay, guys, Dark Lamont. Hopefully I didn't chase away too many subscribers. I will catch you on the next video. Peace out.